All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. Right here, we are joined by Australia's finest. We have the Square Tugs right here live on the Canadian FM dial, and of course, YouTube as well. How are you guys doing this evening?
We're doing outstanding. Thank you. How are you guys?
Hello. Good morning. Good evening.
Dude, doing great. I got to say, definitely good afternoon and good evening as well. I got to say, such an honor to speak to you guys. I got to say also, before we get into this, thank you for actually sending our radio station a copy of your CD. The moment I got it, I put it in my car stereo and listened to it on the way home. And I have to say,
awesome.
the only complaint I have about it was I didn't know what song or what 3 songs to choose to put into the radio station. It's the only complaint I had. They were all too damn good. I was like, I don't know which one to choose.
Brilliant. It's hard to pick a favorite, isn't it? Like
it definitely is. I was sitting there.
We love it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't.
Your radio station. I definitely wanted to send a copy to you because I thought it fit the bill, and you play all sorts of different stuff and the whole spectrum of punk rock. And I thought you might like it. So yeah, I appreciate you having a listen.
It definitely was phenomenal. I also liked as well how you guys sent the paper EPK as well. I loved that. I really thought you guys thought of everything when you actually sent in that submission. I loved it.
Yeah, well, what we kind of want to give them everything you could possibly need, and if you don't use it, that's fine. But we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone. If you want to play it or promote us in any way, you've got everything you need.
But I have to ask, taking you guys back to the beginning of this phenomenal band, like, what is the story behind the Square Tugs? Like, how did all 3 of you members actually get together and form this amazing trio?
Well, basically, Dave and I used to play in bands back in the early 80s in Brisbane. And I was in a band called Crucified Truth. He was in a band called Bad Ronald and a whole heap of other bands. So basically, Dave and I used to play together, but in different bands all the time. And so we go back that far. And basically, I stopped playing in bands in 1999, and I didn't play. I hadn't played since then. And I'd moved house, and I've got my old bass rig out, and I thought, I might get back into it. And I sort of mucked around, and I wasn't having much success. And I put a photo on YouTube, Facebook, and Dave saw it. Goes, "Oh man, we should do something." And I was like, no. And basically he was in my ear a few times and we decided to do it. And then Randall, Randall basically played the first Circle Jerks album, Group Sex. And Dave said, we should cover that and, just do a gig. And we thought it was, funny. And
I did a what's spinning type of post. So, had the record cover and whatever. And well, I thought it was just an idle threat that we'd play this, and it was at sort of the height. There was no international acts happening with COVID and that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're hungry for it. People will love this. Let's just play that album, 15 minutes of pure punk. And I thought it was a joke, really. But Paul and I were shoulder to shoulder crate digging at a record fair. And he goes, I'm starting to learn that. And I went, right, we're doing that. Okay. So next minute we're rehearsing it, and we just played the album.
We had 2 rehearsals. We got the 14 tracks down, and then Dave had us booked in for a gig 2 weeks later. So it happened like about 3 weeks from not being in a room together.
Yeah.
And then we played it, and oh man, we nailed it. I tell you.
Yeah.
It was it was the first time I'd played in 19 years, like at all.
Our first 10 shows. We were doing more shows than we were doing rehearsals.
Oh yeah.
So we'd sort of clocked up to about a dozen shows, and we'd sort of rehearsed about 5 times.
Yeah.
But like the best rehearsal is a show.
Yeah.
And we're so well received. It was unbelievable. So much fun. The album. It's an amazing little LP.
But then we kept adding more Circle Jerk songs. So we had one start. I think we were up to about 25 Circle Jerk songs we were doing, and then it was like, we should start be doing our own ones.
Yeah.
And then like we don't do any anymore. We haven't done any for a little while.
Yeah.
Occasionally, if we play a party or something, or if someone really wants to hear something, we'll pull something
We'll
out.
finish
But,
with Wild in the Streets or
that's
something like that. You know,
that's one that like the
one that
crowd,
we can get people up. You know, oh, you know the words to this. Come on, let's go. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we have 5 people on stage. Like yesterday, was there 5
yesterday
on last night?
Yeah, I think it was 5.
You know, 5 people skanking in a tiny little stage and
That's awesome.
bumping me out of tune. Jesus Christ.
dropping phones.
Yeah. Sorry, you didn't get a word in edgewise there. Sorry about that.
Oh no, we're actually an uncensored radio station, man. So at the end of the day, if a word slides on through, don't worry about it. Let it slide through.
Cool. That's probably handy.
But when you said as well that like Wild in the Streets, man, I got to say that is definitely an encore kind of song as well.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, and it's a song, you know, we kind of can't escape it. Like because we go, oh, we're not going to do it. We're not going to play any circle jerks because we're trying to push our own stuff. But then we'll just be like this, an amazing show. And you can see, you know, some regular suspects in the crowd that love to come up. We thought, oh, come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
And before you know it, the crowd, you know, it's
a nice way to finish.
It's a nice way to finish, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Dave and I sort of share the vocals in that song. And because we all 3 of us sing in the band. We're all 3 of us write the songs. It's not like a one-trick pony kind of thing. Oh, here we go.
Hey,
Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Speaking of Dave, there he is.
Hi, man.
I've been locked in a hotel room for like 2 days. Jesus Christ.
Dave, just remember, we're actually live at the moment, Dave. So just FYI.
Noted. Hello.
Hey, nice seeing you, Dave. Glad you can make it. How's noon going out there in Australia?
Fantastic. I live up the sunny coast on the beach, so a great spot to be. But I've been listening to the show so far. The boys have been great. They speak pretty well for Australians, don't they?
They gotta say, I definitely do, man. I gotta say, this the fact that you mentioned you live on a beach. I have to say, I am extremely jealous because I'm down here in the wintry
nice
tundra of Canada. But,
Dave?
you know, I definitely got to say,
Yeah. No, I lived a bit of time in Vancouver, so I live over there. We can do a house swap. We'll sort something after. Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Like Dave used to play baseball professionally, so like which most people don't know. That was when you were clean living, Dave.
Well, I am still clean living, but just playing punk rock now. So
okay,
it's great. And you guys keep going. Oh, it's good.
Sorry.
And also as well, recently you guys actually became #1 out of 100 different artists and bands on the 4Z's radio station Top 100. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about that #1 placement as originally get associated with them as well.
Yeah, well, 4ZZ's like the local radio station here. It's a community station. It's got a lot of history. It's really supports local and independent artists and has done since 1972. I think it was the first FM radio station in Australia. I used to have a show on there I had a punk show on there in the 80s at some stage. And, you know, I've kind of been associated with it a little bit on and off over the years. But it's a great competition they run every year, and it's voted by.
It's international too.
It's
so
international.
All the songs.
Yeah.
It's open to any song that people, you know, the station plays. So you can vote for any song you want. You can nominate songs. Blah blah blah. But yeah, we put a few songs. I mean, we had like 6 singles out last year.
Yeah.
Just throwing stuff out there from the new album, and you know, to see what would bite. And it all sort of just bottlenecked into a song, and I can't believe we got number 1.
We're so thankful. I mean, last year we got number 4 with Volcalome and Soda Song, which was a really amazing effort because we'd kind of come from out of nowhere. Because when that, it's sort of really satisfying that we did get number 1, because a lot of people kind of wrote us off as a bit of a cover band and a bit of a joke band, which we were.
Yeah.
But then we changed really quickly to writing our own stuff, and it really resonated with people.
Yeah. Well, these two, hang on, that one and that one, write heaps of songs, and you know, we just smashed them all out and threw them out there to see.
Can I interject here? I've written 1,000 Square Tugs songs Randall writes one and sings on one, and becomes number one. That's bloody amazing.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't seem fair.
Or it says a lot about our songwriting, but
Yeah.
it was outstanding
It
by
was all
Randall.
the other songs that got us there to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why I love these guys.
It
So we all
allowed me
got
to
together.
throw my opinion out to the world about what I don't like.
but one of the reasons I think it sort of resonates, we're kind of shameless self-promoters as well. We're very good. We kind of we put our stuff out there, and sort of love it or hate it, we're fine with that. But we believe in our stuff, and so we're very active in getting it out there as best we can, and hopefully people like it. And if they don't, that's totally fine as well. But we're just going to give it our best shot, and because we're not getting any younger, let's face it, and we're having so much fun, and we just hope it resonates with people.
I think the fact that the three of us are so good, the fact that the three of us are so good looking, sometimes our music's overlooked. Yes, there's 3 visual boy candies, but there's a lot more to it.
It was difficult not to be thrown into that boy band basket,
I've been working my moves.
We were.
Maybe you guys can do like a little Blink 182 kind of thing as well. Like maybe do your own little version of all the small things.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night, about doing a video like that. Like we were, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
But we promised not to.
Yeah.
But
I gotta say, it worked for them, and it shot them up. You never know. You guys can do it too. There's a lot of more boy bands and girly singers from from '99 and up that you guys can definitely make fun of. Like One Direction, that I don't know, like those other ones. There's so many of them. I don't even keep track. But you can definitely make a mockery of some.
I long to see Paul in a white linen shirt on a sailboat somewhere, just looking wistfully into the horizon.
Careful what you wish for, Randall.
Our trademark's VB Speedos. Our favorite beer is VB. I don't know. Do you know what Speedos are, kind of?
Definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dave's not a.
So here's the VB Speedos here.
Here's one we prepared earlier.
Yeah.
But on a serious note, we can take fun. We are older fellas, but the fact, instead of reminiscing, we're writing new music. It's about the most excited I've been in 40 years of music. So yeah, it's been a real trip.
And we're only 30, so to be excited.
Well, I've got a 20-year-old daughter, so that may not work. But yeah.
But also as well, guys.
Oh, you were young, weren't you?
But also as well, guys, on September 10th of 2021, you guys actually released the amazing 4-track EP titled Vodka, Lime, and Soda. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this self-release project. And of course, where can we actually buy or stream ourselves a copy of it today? Because I got to say, it's absolutely a superb record.
Oh, excellent. Thanks.
Awesome.
So you can listen to it on any of the streaming services. And we've got our own website. Oh, God. If you just Google Square Tugs merch, it'll come up. And it's on Bandcamp as well. But we've got our own website with our merch and T-shirts and bits and pieces. So the EP sort of came together really quickly. We wanted to get into doing our own original material. So we wrote Glory Hole's the first original song we did of The Irony. And we just basically did the 4 songs. We wanted to get something out there and kind of draw a line in the sand and go, okay, we're going to have a crack at being sensible.
2 days. Did we spend 2 days on it?
Yeah, it was like 2 days. And Dave wrote, essentially, they were all Dave's songs. We all put in together and we share the writing credits equally. But essentially, they were Dave's babies. And they're just Vodka, Lime, and Soda was kind of like our anthem. It's been known that like at about 1 or 2 in the morning, Dave needs to settle down. And so what we usually go, Dave, settle the fuck down, have a Vodka, Lime, and Soda. They're very refreshing.
Yeah.
Which is
it's hydrating.
They're hydrating because you can get a bit excited. It's good to take a moment. And that's kind of basically what the song's about. It's about just going out drinking and having a great time. And we've got a video clip. There's video clip for it on YouTube.
So get on YouTube and have a look at the clip, because the clip actually it encapsulates everything that we're about. Bar hopping, all our friends and all the people that we love. Bands are in there and whatever. our favorite bars in Brisbane. So that was about a salute to all the places that we love to be in,
Yeah.
you know. So that's sort of what the song.
Yeah. It really is a community. A lot of bands talk about community, but the people that come to our gigs, our fans, Paul and Randall's amazing wives, Carolyn and Emma, they're all part of the band. And we're not saying that to be stupid, that they are just as important in the band as we are.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, when we go and play, there's 50 of us all going to play. Just because we're on stage means nothing. We're not backstage. We're out.
Yeah, we're never backstage, are we?
No,
Yeah,
we're always
but,
in the crowd.
But the guys' wives, Carolyn and Emma, are just they're more important in the band than I am. It's just phenomenal. So it's a really nice family kind of feel. Family feel R-rated kind of, you know.
Yeah. Well, it is a real family feeling too.
Absolutely.
And because our first year, we were playing through COVID, and there wasn't a lot going on, and we literally did. Some weekends we'd do 2 shows.
some
back
nights
to
we
back.
do 2 shows.
And we did something like 35 shows in the first year.
Well, it was 35 shows from August to Christmas. It was 30 shows in those 3 months. Because we were playing, we'd play a show, then we'd go to another bar, play another show. And it was crazy. We really got our chops up doing those shows, though. It was great.
Yeah, heaps of fun, heaps of friends. And we're dragging everyone we could to these shows, you know, constantly pushing ourselves on everyone. Get along. It's going to be the best night of your life, you know.
Well, there was a couple of times we did that. Like we'd play at Blutz or somewhere and we'd play like an afternoon show. And then we'd ring Kenny up at the bar around the corner. Hey, do you want us to come around and we'll play a quick 30-minute set and we'll bring 50 people with us. Yeah, come along. And that's literally what happened. When that bar closed, we lugged all our gear 2 blocks up the road and we'd play another show. Essentially, usually the same set, or we might throw some new stuff in there. But and you know, us and our 50 friends would come up and would take over a bar and we'd just play. And then we'd do it again the next weekend. And we did that for months. We did seriously, we were playing 3 or 4 shows a weekend. And it was great.
Because other bands were saying, how are you getting all these shows? Well,
we just show up.
We're there. You know, or someone would say, hey, do you want to play? We go, yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
of course we do.
We're there. We're at a lot of shows. Yeah. And like, I know we're at, you know, some show and we were all there and we go, oh, fuck, can we just go up and play? Yeah, after Vodka Lime and Soda won #1, we were at some bar somewhere and a friend's band was playing. We go, oh, can we just go up and we'll just play that song for people? And we did, and it was great. Yeah.
But I think also we were very aware our venues around were struggling with COVID. We wanted to try and play and bring people. We wanted to keep those places alive because we're best buddies with the owners. Hopefully we were helping each other. So it was good.
Yeah, and because it was reduced capacity, so you know, like a lot of the places could only have sort of 50 people or what have you.
Sold out gig. Woo!
Sold out. It was really good because you could sell out a gig really easy, and we sold out a truckload. And it was like, oh, we'll do. Because that's what happened. We'll do a show, we'll sell it out, and we go, oh, let's do a matinee.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then sell that out as well. And it just was so much fun. Yeah. It was a bit exhausting because, you know, we think, oh, we'll pace ourselves. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're absolutely shattered, and then the next lineup's coming in, and we've got to do another show, and it's like, oh man, you know, I'm not a young man anymore.
We don't have the energy in our 30s.
No.
And also, Paul, this question's actually for you, man.
Yes.
Taking you back to the mid 1980s, you were actually a part of a band actually titled Crucified Truth. Crucified Truth, where you guys actually released the legendary 7-inch EP titled Communication. I was wondering if you can actually just tell our viewers a bit more about this very early project, and of course, is it actually out there to be streamed or listened to today?
It's not. You can't. I am thinking about putting it up on Spotify and the streaming services. I just haven't got around to doing it. So that's a band that basically myself and my brother and it was friends from school. Basically, we started and we were really full on into UK 82. Our favorite bands were like Chaos UK, Disorder, you know, really full on UK stuff. We had like the Stutter Jackets, Big Hair, really punk as fuck kind of stuff. But we, you know, it's a funny thing for me. Like I don't think we were that good, but we resonated with a lot of people, and once again, we were really good at self-promotion back then. Whereas most people weren't. We had our own fanzine called Shit on Brisbane, which was all about the Brisbane music scene. We used to write to Maximum Rock and Roll and all the fanzines. We had fanzine distributors. So I had people all around the world. I'd send 5 copies of the single, 10 copies of the fanzine. And so it got out there and people actually knew about it, even though I don't think it was that good. So it's kind of a hard one for me, but there is some. We actually just recently got a reissue last year of everything we recorded. So 8 studio songs, like the first EP, and we did another EP which never actually came out, and then our demo tape, which was about 18 songs we recorded on a 4-track in our practice room. And it's the good, the bad, and truly the ugly. And there's some stuff on there I'm really proud of. Like there's probably 4 or 5 songs I love. I love the Make a Stand song, which there's a video for that on YouTube, which was recorded down in Melbourne in 1985. I think it was New Year's Day, 85, I think. And that was actually, that was our first tour, and we were touring with the Hard-Ons. You know, the Hard-Ons had just come out, and they played that same show where that video is recorded. I've got the Hard-Ons from that show on video. It's amazing. They were just out of control. But the Crucified Truth stuff, it's hard to get. It is on our Square Tugs website, and it's not on Bandcamp. Yeah, so you can only get it from the Square Tugs website at the moment. That's the vinyl album. I'll grab one in a sec when Randall comes back, so there's not a blank screen. That's about it. But look, you know, it was what it was. It was definitely of its time and of its place. And there's some really good songs on there, and there's some songs I would disown if I could. But you know, it was what it was. We were young, silly, you know, used to drink a lot, and
now we're old and silly.
Now we're old and well behaved. But but it was a great band, and we played, and we were around for quite a while. We were around for about 3 or 4 years, which was a long time back then. And that's one of the reasons I think we resonated, because we were always there and we always sort of played. And like we were talking before, Dave, like you and I used to play together all the time. You were in Bad Ronald and I was in Crucified Truth. And we used to play so many gigs together. But it's funny, like we weren't super buddy-buddy back then, because you were a little bit more straight-laced. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I wasn't.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and for the listeners, I am still very straight laced.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's kind of, but you know, we sort of hung out and that, and it was fun times, I'll tell you that.
Well, I didn't know these guys so well, but I played in the other bands and played on the same bill with Dave, and like we knew each other because the 3 of us are such super music fans. We would be out every weekend, and you know, I'd see Paul in the corner, I'd see Dave, you know, swanning around, and we'd just constantly be bumping into each other. So, you know, amongst the small sort of tribe of only a few hundred people, probably, you know, if you rounded them all up, when you're constantly seeing the same person, you're like, fucking, you're in line with what I'm thinking. Yeah. You know, you like what I like. And so we just sort of casually would give that sort of respectful nod across the room or whatever, you know, just that smile. And that's the thing that's so amazing about the Brisbane music scene, is there is that feeling of community and friendship and just mutual respect, and you know, the music's just pouring into you and moving your body, but you'll turn your head and there's someone with a smile from ear to ear, which is, you know, it just fills your heart, you know, like you're all there for the love of what it is.
Yeah, there's a sense of community. And like last night we went to see, so Mitch Please were playing last night. They got number 2 in that radio competition you were talking about, and Polly actually sings on that song, and that's her main band. And they were playing. It was a fantastic night. And PhD. So there was about 4 different Brisbane bands like that weren't playing, that were actually at the gig. and just enjoying it. It was fantastic. There's definitely a sense of community, I think,
yeah.
here, which is nice. It's almost like it was back in the old days. And I don't think a lot of it's not like that in Sydney. It sure as hell ain't like that in Melbourne. But Brisbane, I think because it's kind of a smaller scene, we definitely stick together and support each other on the whole. Yeah.
It was 3 a.m. this morning. I was sitting with Chris Converse, who put on about 360 shows in Brisbane International. We almost had tears in our eyes just talking about the amazing memories and not gloating, but just for a little city, the amazing punk rock music we've brought. Like we've been really blessed, actually. Yeah.
And Brisbane has a strong history of punk, like obviously the Saints, but Razor and the Leftovers, like we really did 77 punk really fucking well in Lafette's, man, in this city.
Melbourne Rifles.
Man, Celebrate Rifles are down south, but still, Brisbane, always had a really strong punk scene back then. Like I'm talking like the punk gigs were big back then. There was a lot of punks around.
Blow hard,
but it was tough as well. It was a little bit like Canada in that it's tough. Lots of fights.
Brisbane should have an ice hockey league, definitely.
Yeah. It's a sort of man's world kind of thing. Back
air
then.
Conditioning has done amazing things for the vibe of a punk rock gig in Brisbane.
Yeah, but I wouldn't change it.
We've simmered it down.
I definitely agree. If there's a lot of punkers in one room and it's just scalding hot with no AC, those mosh pits are going to get a little, I would say a little violent. And I know a little is probably an understatement. But it's
well lubricated.
Yeah. Look, it was more outside of the gigs rather than the gigs, I must say. The gigs themselves were okay. It's when you went outside and got amongst the public, it got a bit more hairy. But
I'm sure the boys would agree. What is the greatest at our scene at the moment is normally when there's a mosh pit, there's normally now more girls than guys. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Not just silly old blokes around. It's really inclusive.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Yeah.
And the proper scene is really thriving. You just, sometimes I go to left of center shows and there's guys there that haven't been out for 6 months. They don't know what they're doing at a show, and it's so different to what we're, the crew that we're hanging with is incredible. They look after each other.
Oh, hey, got to say hi to Leslie too. I've just seen we've got notes coming up the side. Hey, she comes to all the shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
And the Kathleen Turner Overdrive people are there too. Hello. Nice.
Good fun.
Yeah.
The bands
and
that play
also as well, November 4th of 2022, you guys actually released the phenomenal 16-track debut album titled Monster Hits. I was wondering if you can actually just tell our viewers a story behind this amazing album. And of course, that one.
Well,
and of course, where can we actually buy that? Bandcamp.
It was a compromise. I wanted it to be greatest.
Of course, you can actually get the posters with it.
Yeah.
But we're all about, that vibe, monsters taking over. And this is City Hall in Brisbane. So that's iconic.
Yeah.
Right. So we wanted to stamp ourselves on where we are. Our identity is Brisbane punk. And so that was the idea there. But Paul and his amazing wife, Carolyn, did all the artwork and photography. You can see where they're running away from Godzilla in fear. There's lots of little embellishments there. We've got a golden unicorn, which is one of our songs. I don't know. Can't see what that is. I can't see anything.
Yeah, but it's it's really cool. We wanted it to be iconically Brisbane. And it's even pressed here in Brisbane. We've got a pressing plant back in Brisbane, which we haven't had since the mid 80s. So we recorded it here. We pressed it here. Everything's done here. And we're really excited about it. And we wanted to try and come up with an iconic cover that sort of jumped out of the racks. Like our inspiration is the
Angry Samoans.
Angry Samoans and the
Hoodoo
Hoodoo
Gurus.
Gurus first album. And because I love both those albums. I love the artwork. I love the day glow colors, and just, you know, and we even got like, you know, colored vinyl. So it's sort of, you know,
hot pink.
and yellow. And
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, we just wanted something. I guess we love vinyl. We're all vinyl heads, and I love nothing more than getting a new record and going home, listening to it. You got all the lyrics, and, you know, just exploring the artwork, and, you know, yeah, old school. What can I tell you?
Does it get better than pressing on vinyl?
No.
Honestly, there's nothing better than nothing better.
Yeah.
But also as well, this album was actually produced by Dodge House. I was wondering if you can actually tell our viewers a bit more about that. And of course, what was it like just working with Jason in the studio for this project?
Oh,
he's incredible.
Jason's amazing. I'm familiar with Jason with his work on another friend's band, and he's got this amazing home studio, and it's the best studio I've ever been in. But it's actually his home. He's got his own pinball room. I think there's 8 or 9 pinball machines in there. And Jason's just a joy to work with. He works really fast, and he works really well with us. He kind of let us be ourselves, but he sort of he made suggestions where, you know, he thought he needed them. And yeah, it's a really good working relationship. We were actually out with him last weekend. We were celebrating the win of the 4ZZZ Hot 100, and we were all out together, drinking till all hours, and talking about we're going to go back in and do the next album with him as well, and we're hopefully going to shoot a video with him in the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, he was a big part of it. He really was.
So the single I Don't Like It was, when we initially did it, was a verse chorus, and it went for something like 40 seconds or something. It wasn't very long, but I really wanted more body to it. And so I said to Jason, can you just, because we'd already recorded it, we packed everything away.
Yeah, it was done.
It was done.
The recording was done.
Yeah. I said, can you just take that bit and put another verse in there, put another, you know, so Magic Studio stuff. Jace, props to you, buddy. And I got Polly. So Polly does DJ as well on Triple Z, and she has this fantastic screamo voice that she does, and juxtaposition, little lovely sweet voice as well. But I could just feel, I just wanted that anger and passion and proper to make something more of the song, and she just gave it that lift. You know, we gave her some lyrics, but I said to her, just, you have to say what you don't like, pop it in there. And she came up with these words and just smashed them out and did exactly what we wanted, you know, and even to the chorus, I don't like it. She's got this, you know, and it just brought so much to the song, you know.
Yeah, it did. And yeah, we were lucky because the song was done. It was mixed. It was, and Randall was like, oh, I want to change it. Like, fucking Randall, we're not changing the song.
I've only got one song.
And then but it was like, he's only got one song. It's like, okay, we said to Jason, look, can you because we don't want to go back in and record it again. Can you double? He said, yeah, that should be fine. Yeah. And we'll, and it just,
so it sounds seamless, you know, it's perfect.
But yeah, it was basically, we just doubled it and then did the new vocal, which was, and I'm so glad we did, because you know, it just really resonated with people here, and got number 1. So go figure.
Yeah, super proud.
So we might let him sing one on the next album.
Hey, I gotta say, it's definitely working for Randall. You know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah. It looks like he was down there saying 2. I don't know if you're gonna give him 1 or you're gonna give him 2.
1 at this stage.
1.5.
1.5.
But also as well, guys, on January 25th, you will actually be doing your first show of the year 2023 where you guys performed at Greaser Day in Fortitude Valley. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this up and coming show, and of course, where can we actually snag ourselves some last minute tickets?
Right. So that's our first show in Brisbane. We did a show on the Gold Coast yesterday, and we're doing a show in Ipswich. They're sort of neighbouring towns next weekend. But our first Brisbane show is on the 25th at Greaser. And I actually can't remember where you get the tickets from on the Greaser, but it's on the Facebook page. There's an event for it. It's probably OzTix, if I had to guess. And that show's just being announced. It's got what's his name from WA, Dennis. He's got that Death Rattle song. He's the headlining. Sorry, I've forgotten his name. Dennis Camletti. Oh God, that's terrible. But he's actually he's really good. I've got his album there. I love it. And he's the headliner. But it's basically kind of local bands. There's going to be a couple of stages. And Greaser's one of our favorite bars. That's where we were last night. And we've only played there a couple of times, but it's a really cool little bar. It's like I love the name for a start. There's lots of little rooms, little. It's an old school bar, isn't it? It's definitely a good dive bar.
Yeah. It's
I have them shut at 4 a.m. this morning, so it's all safe. It's all good.
It's like an underground cellar type of thing that's been turned into. Yeah, so there's lots of little nooks and crannies.
And there's no sign out the front. You just got to go down an alley. So if you don't know about it, you'll just walk straight past it. But if you go down and go, oh, Jesus, what's down here? It's a little cavern of wonders.
Yeah, you sort of go through the back door too, don't
you do, if you're pardon the expression.
Yeah.
Sorry, too much Benny Hill as a kid.
But honestly, though, from my personal experience, though, some of the best bars are actually hidden, and you actually really have to dig for it. Those are the best bars that you have the most fun at, from my experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a good bar, and they have music on. Geez, it's just about every night of the week, I think.
Yeah.
And they support like a huge range of. It's not just punk; it's all sorts of different stuff, and it's actually a really good bar to play because they look after you. You know, you get a rider, you get paid. That might sound silly,
but it is a plus.
You always get paid. You always get a rider. They always look after you. You've got a little green room. It's nothing to get too excited about, but you can leave your gear, and it's a nice place to play.
And very inclusive. You know, people can.
Very inclusive.
It's just a safe, fun environment.
It's a safe place. Yeah, definitely.
I got to say, it definitely sounds good that they're actually paying amazing artists like yourselves. There's a lot of bars in there that goes, oh, we'll just pay you in drinks or something. But the fact that you guys actually get a cut and a pay is absolutely phenomenal. And I love hearing that there's still bars out there that really do still care artists like yourselves.
Yeah, no, and it's really good. And look, we don't need a lot of money. We do it for the fun of it. And, everyone's got to sort of make a little bit of money and keep going, and we understand that, and it's not an issue. But yeah, they're definitely a good place to play.
But I have to ask, what is next for yourselves, the Square Tugs, man? Like, is there anything we happen to miss during this evening's interview, or in your guys' case this afternoon? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote? We still got you here live on the Canadian airwaves.
No, I don't think so. I think we're working on the new album already. We've got sort of about 5 songs almost ready to record, and we've got another probably close to 20, I'd say. Certainly another 15 to 20. So we're sort of demoing them and working out what's going to be for the next album, and basically start recording. We're going to do one more video for the song "Apple of My Eye," which we're going to get Jason from Music Works to record for us. Film, thank you. And that's probably it for the album. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to touch there.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel, Tony, we're just starting. There's a lot more we're going to be doing here, which I think we're still trying to find out, not being silly about our sound. It's just great. Not being silly, but that a fan a few weeks ago, a great guy said, God, your music saved my life. And when you hear shit like that,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, what's more important? So it just inspires us. And I've never been so pumped. I'm more pumped now. I saw the Dead Kennedys when I was 13 here. I'm more pumped now.
Was at that show?
50, yeah. So we're in a lucky place yeah. So there's a lot
Yeah.
more to come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're definitely, it's early days for us. We've got a lot of, like Dave and I, Dave particularly is incredibly prolific. I'm not so much, but I've still got a truckload of songs, and Randy comes out with a gem every now and then too. So
He just wants the number ones.
yeah, so he just writes the number one. So yeah, we've definitely got a lot like that. There's a lot more coming from us. Don't worry.
There's a lot more to say. Definitely.
A lot more to say. Yeah.
But, and
Yeah, I got to
it's
say,
all
when the
there.
next record comes out, we got to get you guys back on the radio station as well.
Oh
and
hell, we'd
push
love to.
the second
We'd love to.
record.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And
Well,
I got to
thanks.
say, I'm personally excited for the second album, guys. To be honest with you, I know you guys are still in the works with it, but I got to say that album you guys sent my way, I listened to it on my own free time, even after I put the music in the radio station. So I definitely
Awesome.
need that second Square Tugs album to add to the first one.
Yeah, but what would you call it? What would you go? Where would you go from Monster Hits?
Second coming.
I would say I would say more like the cleanup, because it's Godzilla destroying the city, right?
Ah,
You know what I mean? The cleanup.
Hey, I
Okay.
like that.
You got to
I like
pick. You
that
got to
idea.
pick up the ruins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's great.
Maybe,
Hey, listen,
maybe.
thanks so much. We really appreciate the support, and really, I'm really glad that you like it. You know, it does mean a lot to us. You know, it inspires us to keep going. You know, it's nice to get that sort of positive feedback, and yeah, it gets us excited.
And before we part ways, guys, how can our viewers and listeners of the radio station actually follow you guys on all social media platforms, whether it's just the Square Tugs, official pages, or you guys individually?
Yeah, so yeah, definitely the official pages. Like, definitely follow us on Facebook and Spotify and YouTube. We do a lot of videos. We're very we love doing videos. So that and you can see us on Facebook. I've got my name. Yeah, Paul.
Well, I have a punk rock nude chef show too. Occasionally, so as a bit of a spin-off. So
I think that's your RedTube channel, Dave.
a bit of yeah, no, I'll leave that. Yeah,
Yeah, but if you follow the Square
Square
Tug
Tugs.
stuff, you'll find us pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I got to say, first and foremost, guys, thank you so much for just giving myself and the radio station viewers and listeners a little bit of your afternoon this evening here in Canada. It was such an honor to speak with all three of you guys, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again.
That's
sometime
it.
soon.
Thank
But
you so
until
much.
then, I will keep the Square Tugs spin in rotation.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Hey,
Cheers.
You are most certainly welcome, guys. Definitely have yourselves. Definitely cheers. Have yourselves a wonderful Sunday afternoon.
good job.
Will do.
you
Cheers. You
too.
too.
So thank you.
Peace.
Bye. Cool.